This is an analysis from Alpha Business Media. Welcome. Today, we're diving into a really powerful new economic movement that's transforming one of Asia's most challenged nations. Now, this isn't the kind of top-down change we usually hear about. Something driven by big government programs or huge corporations. No, this is a fundamental shift that's happening right at the grassroots level. It's solving problems where the traditional structures have, frankly, failed. And what's powering this movement? It's a new generation of innovators. These are people who aren't waiting around for permission. They see a problem in their own community, and they just take direct action to build the solution themselves. Let's take Ambika Puyal as an example. She was a housewife, and at first, pretty skeptical about the whole idea of becoming an entrepreneur. But then she was offered some training in how to make liquid soap. And this one simple insight, that soap is something everyone needs every day, that was the spark. And just look at what happened. Her story really captures the trend we're seeing all across the country, where these individual initiatives are scaling up to become a genuine national economic movement. So that raises a big question, right? What is it about Nepal that makes it such fertile ground for this kind of innovation? Well, to really get it, we have to understand the unique pressures that have shaped the nation. First off, there's this powerful demographic shift going on. Look at this. More than half of Nepal's population is under the age of 24. So you have this huge, educated, ambitious generation that's entering the workforce, but there just aren't enough formal jobs. That pressure forces them to innovate. And all of this youthful energy is happening against a backdrop of really immense economic disparity. This number, 26x, it's pretty stark. It means the richest 10% of Nepalis own 26 times more wealth than the poorest 40%. And decades of political instability have only made that gap worse, weakening state institutions and creating a desperate need for new solutions. This has created a vacuum where traditional markets have also failed to deliver. The figure on your screen now, $2.8 billion, is the estimated financing gap for small and medium-sized businesses. So with not enough capital coming from the state or from banks, a really pragmatic and powerful alternative had to emerge.
So what is this pragmatic alternative? Well, it's something called a social enterprise, and it operates on a model that is really starting to take root all across the nation.
At its very core, a social enterprise is a kind of hybrid model. See, it's not pure charity because it's designed to be financially self-sufficient by selling goods or services. But it's not pure capitalism either.
This really illustrates the key difference perfectly. A traditional business, right, it's all about financial return. But a social enterprise, it measures itself by a double or even a triple bottom line. That's financial, social, and environmental returns.
So, here's the crucial point to take away. For these businesses, profit isn't the end goal. Profit is the engine. It's the fuel that allows the enterprise to keep going and to scale its social mission, creating this incredible, self-perpetuating cycle of positive change. Now, this model isn't just some nice theory. It's producing tangible, real-world results all over Nepal. So let's take a look at some of the key players who are really driving this change on the ground.
These businesses are tackling critical issues head-on, and they're creating value in sectors that were often overlooked. They're doing everything from building digital platforms for waste management like Halisi to providing healthcare services that create jobs for women. In the environmental space, for instance, these innovators are literally building a circular economy from the ground up. You've got companies like Halisi and Doko Recyclers who are turning the huge problem of urban waste into a real economic opportunity.
And this is so crucial. These businesses are also fighting deep-seated social inequalities. They're creating economic pathways for women, for people with disabilities, for marginalized communities, giving them not just a job, but dignity and a real stake in the economy.
But despite all of this incredible momentum, the path forward isn't an easy one. It's not without some pretty significant challenges. Let's look at the obstacles these entrepreneurs are actually facing.
A really tough operating environment plagues a lot of these businesses. They're facing legal gray areas, a serious lack of appropriate financing, and even basic problems with infrastructure. All of that, as you can imagine, really hinders their ability to grow and scale their impact. But there is some very good news here. A powerful support ecosystem is actually starting to form around them. You have government bodies, international organizations like the IFC, and local incubators all beginning to work together to help clear the path. So, the rise of social enterprise in Nepal,
It really represents more than just a collection of inspiring stories. It feels like a fundamental paradigm shift. What it's proving is that purpose-driven business can be a powerful and maybe even the most effective catalyst for sustainable and inclusive growth, one that's built from the bottom up.